Today's webinar is Introduction to LMS Checkout, and we have with us Matt Lee. He's going to be helping present today from Envision. And we are very excited to be a partner with Envision on LMS Checkout and to add to our tool set of capabilities of how we can help our clients. So this is really an exciting webinar for us. Let's see here. And I'll advance to the next one. My name is Dr. Tammy Frame. I'm the Chief Education Officer at eClass for Learning. This is my contact information, and we are recording today's webinar. Those of you that couldn't join live, if you signed up, we'll be sending an email to everyone with the recording. And those of you that are here can ask questions, but if you didn't get a chance to ask me questions, feel free to email me those, and we'll be happy to get you the answers. eClass for Learning is a full-service e-learning solution, and so LMS Checkout fits really well with what we do. It fits in the e-commerce solutions, and I think you'll see that it's a very easy to use, very professional storefront that's easy to configure and easy to manage. Today we are using Zoom, and with that you have the ability to put in questions, and we welcome that. That makes it more live and more fun, so please feel free to do that. And with that, I'm going to I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we'll allow Matt a chance to share his, and he's going to talk a little bit more about LMS Checkout.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Tammy, and thank you for inviting us in today. As Tammy said, my name is Matt Lee. I'm the founder and CEO at Envision, and we're here to share some information with you about LMS Checkout, which is our shopping cart solution for Moodle and Totara. So I know there's a combination of folks in the audience today that use one or both of those technologies. Before I jump into some things, I just wanted to share with you a little bit of information about us. In addition to being a partner with eClass for Learning, we're a solution provider ourselves. We work in the extended enterprise space. In particular, we focus on, well, to put it easily, we focus on customers that need to train their customers. So we don't do a lot with kind of HR implementations or higher ed type of implementations where it's more of an internal kind of training. Our customers are in the business of training, partners, selling courses, customer enablement type of programs. Because of that, we offer two solutions in this kind of three-step process you see here. The first, which we're going to be focused on today, is LMS Checkout, which is a way to promote and sell your courses. Obviously, eClass for Learning can help you with all your Moodle and Totara needs as far as hosting and consulting and training and support and all that kind of stuff. And then going around the circle, we also have a product called Enlighten CRM, which allows you to integrate all your student data with Salesforce.com. So again, being in that space where our customers are in the business of training their customers, they don't really have needs around integration of data with like an HRIS system or a student information system or things like that. They want to integrate all that data with their CRM platform so that they've got all their customer data in one place. And just so you understand, as our partnership with eClass for Learning, they're in a position to be able to help you with these solutions as well. I'm here to just provide information today, but if you wanted to buy these, if you wanted to trial them, if you were looking for solutions that involve them in any way, that is what our partnership with eClass for Learning is all about. You can get these solutions through them. They're fully authorized to sell and provide consulting services around these platforms. So you don't have to change anything about the way you're doing business. Today is really just for information to help you understand how our solutions work, but you can go through Tammy and her team for any in-depth questions you have and anything like that. Now, to kind of set the table around LMS Checkout, I always like to talk a little bit about what LMS Checkout is not, or more or less kind of stress what your LMS is not. And we're not sitting here saying that you shouldn't use an LMS. You absolutely should. Your learning management system is a great tool for designing courses, for tracking grades, for setting up assignments and building quizzes and storing your scoring packages. All that stuff that goes into how you're going to manage a student's interaction or their kind of existence within your academic program. Those are all incredibly important things, and we're certainly not here to tell you otherwise. However, what your LMS is not a sales and marketing tool. It's not a great way to build up search engine optimization and promote your courses. It's not a great way to attract strangers who have no idea who you are. It's not a great a tool for executing some kind of e-commerce strategy. It's not a great tool for setting up subscriptions or building out coupon codes and system discounts and managing different levels of customer type that might have different levels of pricing consideration. It's just not really designed to be that kind of thing. It's like if you tried to take your LMS and turn it into an accounting tool, it probably wouldn't be a very successful accounting management platform either. So a learning management system is great for certain things. It's just not great for these things. Oops, sorry about that. My mouse is a little sensitive there. It's just not great for building out this other stuff. And that's really where we come in is LMS Checkout acts as that front-end storefront to allow you to promote your courses, execute transactions, manage different sales modalities, whether it's a membership or whether it's a subscription type of transaction, if it's a shopping cart, if it's an ability to go in and purchase multiple seats to a single course for a team or group of people. So there's all these kind of sales considerations that go into how your storefront will behave, and those are just really difficult to build natively into a platform like Moodle or Totara. Now, before we jump into a live demo, I wanted to present a couple of case studies just to outline some different, really some different sales modalities that people are using with our platform in order to attract new customers and convert them into students within their LMS. And this is a really great example of just a simple shopping cart solution. We work with an organization out of Michigan called CRNA Today, and they provide continuing education to anesthesiologists. So they're a very targeted, very focused organization. They specialize in really one thing, and they needed a simple solution to promote their courses and convert those shoppers into buyers and those buyers into students. Now, we've actually worked with this organization for a number of years, and in their old world, they were using a combination of 3 different technologies. They were using a content management system called Joomla, which is an open source CMS, kind of similar to a WordPress or Drupal if you're familiar with those types of technologies. That acted as their website. Then they were using UberCart, which is a plugin for Joomla, which allows them to execute a sales process. And then they were integrating their Joomla system with Moodle to pass students over. Now, even after spending a bunch of money and creating some integration between those systems, they still had to require a manual step on the part of their students in order to, technically purchase an enrollment code, and then they would use that enrollment code to go and actually enter that into Moodle as far as gaining access into the actual course. So they spent a lot of money to set this up. It wasn't fully automated, and it was really complex to manage. I don't know if you've ever used WordPress or Joomla or Drupal or any of those types of systems to build out a website, but they can be really, really complex systems with a lot of moving parts and ultimately still require some level of programming expertise, some HTML, some CSS, that kind of stuff to really make it look and feel the way that you want. So our customer was spending a lot of money, wasting a lot of time, and didn't have a truly automated solution. Once he rolled out LMS Checkout, he was able to simply put up a site, brand it without any HTML or programming skills, and he fully automates the process from when somebody puts in their credit card to then launching into a course. There's no manual processes required whatsoever for either him or his student. So he's got a much easier solution for him to manage, which makes it doable. And then he's got a much more seamless process for his students. Another type of sales scenario or kind of business model that our customers deal with is more around an enterprise type of subscription process. So we work with an entity called Legal Minds, and the way they do business is they sell subscription-based training to law firms. So they'll go to law firm A and sell them a subscription based on the number of employees they have and the number of training titles that they want to subscribe to, and they'll repeat that over and over again. But they don't actually transact business online. Like, nobody's putting in a credit card and needing to buy a single course. They're selling a book of courses or curriculum to an entire entity, and that transaction takes place through a more traditional B2B type of model where, you know, somebody issues a PO and then pays with a check kind of thing. So what they're doing is they're using LMS Checkout to create a multi-tenant environment where they can spin up any number of child stores that can be privately branded for each of their customers. So if you look on the screen here, kind of their parent store is the bigger image, which is Legal Minds. And then each of the smaller images represents their different customers who are subscribing to a subset of courses. And each of these storefronts are each privately curated with the content that they have subscribed to that meets the needs of their law firm. So they get the benefit of having one single learning management system, which in their case is Moodle. And then each of their customers gets their own private storefront that is configured for their needs and curated with their courses. Another interesting sales scenario that we have is an organization called Newborn Course. Now, they're not doing a traditional transaction model where people would put a course into a shopping cart and then ultimately check out. And they're not doing an enterprise type of subscription like the previous example. They're doing an all-access pass to their storefront. So it's kind of like the lynda.com model, if you're familiar with that. If you go to Lynda, you can purchase like a how to do Photoshop course, which might be a single course. You pay $50 for it. That course will last about 6 hours, and you have access for 30 days or something like that. Or at Lynda, you can go, and for $500 a year, you can get unlimited access to all the titles on their storefront. Well, this is similar to what Newborn Course is doing, except they don't want people to buy individual courses. They have all their courses listed out on the storefront, but any attempt to enroll in each of them individually will push the student to a subscription page where they can sign up and pay for a 6-month pass for $40. And that gives them an all-access pass to the entire site and all the courses that are available there. So again, another similar type of model in that it's a subscription, but it's slightly different in how it's delivered and how it's managed. Finally, another interesting use case for our multi-tenant capabilities, which is our child stores. We work with an entity called Adler Learning, who doesn't sell any of their courses directly. They sell their courses through a network of training partners. So they have consulting partners and training partners that will sign on to resell their content. So they go out and they build and publish this business certification content that it's kind of like CE credits for business leadership type of skills. And then they partner with resellers who then get their own individual stores that they can manage. They can set their own pricing. They can also augment these on-demand courses with their own live training that can be managed through the live class capabilities of our storefront. So they're able to manage a complex network of channel partners who all each have their own storefront, and they can manage it all through a single entity. Again, they maintain and manage a single learning management system where all their courses are housed, and they can manage them in one central repository. But then they can curate each of their training partner stores with their own unique branding, with their own unique pricing strategy. Each channel partner can manage their own sets of users while keeping them siloed and not, kind of putting them all into the one place where each of the competing partners can see each other, kind of thing. So they each have kind of unique control over their own sets of users. So lots of different ways that stores can be configured and set up in lots of different ways that you as a training provider can run your business. You're not locked into any one kind of sales modality. We have lots of different ways the stores can be configured, and even within an individual account, each of these child stores can be uniquely configured to support different sales models within your overall system. So it's not like if you're doing enterprise subscriptions at one level, you're committed to that across all your storefronts. You can kind of mix and match the way you do business based on a particular channel, based on a particular target audience, or based on the curriculum types that you're working with. You know, what might work for a particular type of course may not work for another. So, for example, you know, how you sell a course that lasts 3 months and is run more like a traditional higher ed type of semester-long course, you might do business around that type of course differently than a 2-week continuing education type of course. So lots of flexibility and lots of options. Now, 2 more things I want to highlight before we jump into a live demo is the live class capabilities of our system. One of the things that can be a bit of a challenge to manage within Moodle or Totara is more that live class registration process. You can certainly turn on and use face-to-face activities within your Moodle courses. However, that requires a student be enrolled in the course before they can start picking and choosing sessions that they might want to attend. And a lot of times our customers, you know, or their customers are concerned with where a class is going to take place, and that's a purchasing consideration. You know, you probably wouldn't want to buy a course, even if it was on a topic you were interested in, if it wasn't located in the state or city where you live. So knowing where the class is going to take place, knowing who's going to be teaching the class, knowing other options for when it's available, those are all things that an LMS isn't really very strong at. So within LMS Checkout, you've got a tool set that allows you to set up and manage live class sessions that can occur in different cities, different locations. It can be time sensitive. They can be multi-day sessions. You can assign different instructors. And more importantly, within our system is you can link these sessions to a parent course that can reside back in your LMS. So let's say you're teaching that course that we referenced earlier in the lynda.com example. Let's say you teach a course that is how to use Photoshop. And let's say you teach that course in training centers all across the country. Maybe you've got a training center in San Francisco, Dallas, Atlanta, Chicago, and it's always the same class. You know, you're always teaching a 6-hour class. It's always the same materials. It's always the same workshops, same lessons, and all that kind of stuff. But you have different instructors, and these take place in different locations. Well, you can build your course once inside of Moodle, and then you can use our system to create a number of different sessions that are location and instructor dependent, and they can be, you know, all across the country, all different times. You can literally have hundreds of sessions all set up, and you can manage the registration and confirmation notifications around those sessions all independently. But ultimately, your enrollments will all flow back to that parent course, and you can keep all your student records in one place. So again, it's that concept of maintaining a single record or a single instance within your LMS, but then creating a lot of different options for how people might engage with that content through the storefront. And then finally, as I mentioned earlier, you know, we have another product out there called Enlighten CRM, which lets you integrate student records with systems like Salesforce.com. But we also have out-of-the-box integration for LMS Checkout with Salesforce.com so that you can instantly track all of your transactional information back within your CRM. So the idea here is once a stranger comes to your site and they buy something, they are now a customer. We can instantly integrate that customer information with your CRM platform, and now they're positioned for future marketing activities. They're positioned for support cases and trouble tickets and things like that, for ongoing account management, and then for just your general sales tracking, you know, to be able to see and have visibility into the amount of revenue that you're generating as an organization. So just, I like to highlight those last two things because they're differentiators in our platform that you're not going to see with other systems out there. But we have them because of just the nature of our product. And then as an ISV partner with Salesforce, we've kind of historically always built a lot of our solutions around CRM integration. So it's just some things that we do that are a little bit different. So with that, I'm going to jump into a demo and show you some live storefronts. As Tammy said earlier, we welcome you guys to submit your questions. I'm happy to address all those at the end. If you've got questions as we go, Tammy is going to let me know if there's questions. I'm happy to jump in at any time. But give me 1 second here. I'm going to stop sharing for just a minute so that I can share a different screen. Here we go.
And I think that the case studies that we just looked at kind of show the complexity and the flexibility of all the system can do. This next part, I think, shows how professional and kind of what it can look like, and I think that can help too. So.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, there's a lot here. I could easily spend the next 2 or 3 hours showing you every nook and cranny of LMS Checkout, and I think it would probably make your head swim a bit. So kind of our focus today is to show you some live examples of how some of our customers are using the technology so you can get a feel for how different you can make the system look. So we're going to just give you kind of a 30,000-foot view of the types of solutions our customers are creating, give you a little peek into the back end, the administrative area, so you can see the different tools available to you for setting up your storefront. But ultimately, it's just to give you an idea of what's possible. You're always welcome to reach out to Tammy, and we can always do a deeper dive type of discussion with you offline, to really tailor a demonstration towards your specific use case or needs. So this is just meant to be an overview here. But yeah, I wanted to start with showcasing just some of the really interesting sites that some of our customers have built, and I'm trying to show a bit of a spectrum. So some of these will be subscription sites, some of these will be just more transaction sites, but I just want to highlight some of the branding and some of the layouts that are available within the platform. Now this is Adler College. They're out of I think they're up in British Columbia in Canada. And they actually have 8 different storefronts with us because they have 8 different departments within their school that all run their own unique programs. I just happened to grab the Adler coaching one because I think this is a nice, pretty use case of branding. They've done a nice job with their filters. So when you're looking at this, I always like to emphasize that we're not recreating an LMS experience here. What we're trying to recreate is more an Amazon.com experience. So you're going to see a lot of tools like filters. So when I'm on the All Courses page, if I scroll down, they probably have, well, in this case, they've got about 32 courses that are available for sale. I have one customer that has about 2,000 courses on their storefront. That makes for a lot of scrolling and a lot of page shifting when you're trying to look through all those courses. So using your own custom tags and filters, you can create this left-hand side filtering so that you can refine your search. So it's kind of like when you go to Amazon.com, if you were looking for a pair of shoes, you would filter based on brands, based on colors, based on styles, based on gender, and all that kind of stuff. Same kind of thing here. You've got tools in the back end that allow you to create your own custom filters based on the way you think your customers and prospects would want to come and look for the things that they're looking for. Also within the site, we've got some different views. You'll notice here that some of these courses have specific start dates. So we have a calendar view. So if people want to come in and search based on a calendar, they can do the same thing, and those same filters also apply. So if I want to see on the calendar just mentor coaching, I can make my calendar go blank because there are none of those. But you get the point. You can use the filters here to refine what you're looking for, and if you'd rather search based on dates, you can do that. Now with our live classes, which Adler isn't using, these are all live classes that are being managed specifically in Moodle. But if you're using our live class function, you can also filter based on locations. I don't think they've got anything set up here, so that's not going to open up. But other customers of ours use our live class function really aggressively. And so as you add new city locations or online locations, you can create filters on the site, so you can filter based on location as well as keywords and dates and times. So it gives you lots of options for how a student would find what they're looking for. Here's another branding example. This is a new customer that's just now getting set up, and I think they've done a really nice job. They're actually a private company that sells, I think they sell medical equipment. This was brought to us by another one of our partners. So I'm not as intimately familiar with what they do as a business, but they're in the medical space, and they provide training around their processes and around their equipment. So just again, another example of branding. You'll notice different banners, different logos. In their case, they've got the global navigation sitting above the banner as opposed to below it. Different color buttons. So everything on the site is all customizable through our theme designer that you have access to in the back end. And all these themes that you're going to see have all been done without anybody knowing any HTML, no CSS. This is all just drag and drop and color picker type stuff in our theme designer. This is a site that just came up recently with Pepperdine University. So if I scroll down, you'll see down here it's the executive education of Pepperdine University. They're running a particular program in their continuing education department around cybersecurity. So this was set up specifically to work for a particular department within the school. But again, they've done a nice job with some colors and their logos. And even though it's the same template, it's a pretty big difference from one site to the next. This is Abilene Christian University, and they're taking advantage of our featured courses page. So it's another view that can be turned on, and it just changes the layout of things. So it's using more of an iconic type of view as opposed to a list view. And this works nice if you've got customers that are going to be pretty heavy mobile users. Everything that we do is built in Bootstrap. So as I shrink down the site, everything stacks nice and neatly, nice big buttons. So if you're on a mobile device, it's easy to access these courses and go through the purchasing process. You'll also notice that Abilene Christian has our reviews and ratings turned on. So they don't currently have any because they just launched about a month ago. But we do have a rating and review system built in. So if I click into this course, for example, you'll see there's a comments area, the rating system here, and so on. Oh, another thing I want to showcase, I'm going to jump back over here to Adler because they do a nice job with this. If I go to their all courses page and I click on one of their courses, they do a nice job of cross-tagging their courses. And so when you're looking at one course here, the system makes recommendations. So it lets you know that, hey, you might also be interested in these courses. And that's done through an algorithm in our system that will recognize courses that share tags. There's also ways to go into our setup area and assign courses to other courses so that you can make very specific recommendations if you'd like. Let's see here. Another school that we just started working with, this is University of Missouri. This is their e-learning for educators department. So it's one of their continuing education departments called eMints. So again, just like Abilene Christian, they're using our featured courses view because they like this kind of iconic display of the courses. But as I navigate around, they also have the list view and things like that. And you'll notice they've got, not all their courses are shown on the featured courses page. They've got some that are in here that are just available. This looks like just an on-demand course that started several years ago. They've had it for quite some time. Another Christian university that we work with, and again, just another example of some branding and layout stuff. So different use of colors, different use of tags and tag groupings and so on. This is an organization that is private. So this particular site is not open to the public. I had to actually log in to gain access to their site. So they lock down access, so you have to be an authenticated user to get in the first place, and then they drive everything towards a subscription. So you'll notice all these courses all say, $0. If I click on enroll now, it lets me know I need to go to subscribe, and then it takes me to a subscription page where I can either do a 1-month subscription or I can do a 12-month subscription. So they provide 2 different options for that. So again, they're really pushing that all access pass kind of concept, but they want people to only do 1 month or 12-month. We also have 3-month options and 6-month options and so on. They just didn't turn those on. And then here's another nice branding example. This is an organization that's turned on an extra page. So they've created their a homepage here, and they've essentially created kind of like an about us sort of page, and then put in some advertising and promotions about some of the stuff that they do. And our homepage just allows you to drop in your own custom HTML. So I kind of lied earlier. This particular account did do some custom HTML. Wasn't a requirement to design their theme, but they put a little extra effort into a homepage so that they could have a unique looking landing page kind of thing. But that's just a quick overview of just some customers. I'm going to jump into one of my demo stores and give you a quick little tour of the administrative area, so you could just get a kind of a feel for how things work when you're setting this up with your Moodle or Totara account. So when I do my demos, I pretend I'm an organization called the Great Outdoors Colorado, because we're based out here in Colorado. And we do a lot of fishing and skiing and kayaking and hiking and stuff around here. So I do a lot of those activities. So when I'm making up stuff that I teach, might as well make up fun stuff that I teach. So that's why my fake company is Great Outdoors Colorado. So when you sign up for an account with us, it's really easy. You can go to www.lmscheckout.com. It takes about 30 seconds to sign up for an account. And once you do that, you'll end up with something that looks like this. So you'll have, in my case, I signed up for the Great Outdoors, and then that became .lmscheckout.com. Now, as you become a customer and as you start using the software for real, you have the ability to add a custom domain. So if I wanted to, create something like these guys did, like they have their customers go to lifestylemed.education. And everybody else has, I don't know everybody's custom domains, but most of our customers, Adler's, has people come to www.adlercoaching.ca. So you have the ability to white label your domain and have our software reside or kind of resolve at your own custom domain. It doesn't have to be an LMS checkout domain kind of thing. So the setup is really easy. You're going to download a plugin, which you guys probably wouldn't even have to do that if you're working with Tammy and her team. Just send an email, say, hey, I want to use LMS Checkout, install the plugin for me. They already have access to our plugin. All they have to do is turn it on for you, and that's step 1. Step 2 is just adding the connection for your Moodle account, which is basically giving it a name, putting in your Moodle URL, and then putting in an administrative username and password. And that allows us to authenticate and kind of verify that it's your account. And then once you've done that, when you go to the Manage Courses area and you go to Course Settings, it automatically queries all the courses sitting over in your Moodle account. And then it's just a matter of going through and making something active, adjusting other payment settings. We have our own certificate of completion module. So if you want to design certificates in our system, you can assign a certificate. You can also assign instructors if you want them to receive notifications of when somebody purchased their course, or if you want them to get a notification when somebody's been done or issued a certificate, or if you just want their name to get printed on the certificate of completion, you can add it here. This is where you come to assign tags, manage your SKU numbers and product codes. So when you get into this whole sales process, you've got different things you've got to manage. Like in Moodle, you would assign something a course ID. When it's a product that you're selling, it needs a product code. And it doesn't need one. You don't actually have to. These aren't requirements for anything here. But as I mentioned in our PowerPoint presentation, we also provide integration with Salesforce.com. So as people are making purchases, product codes can help you keep keep your product catalogs in sync and keep those organized and nice and neat, and help prevent you from creating duplicate records and things like that. So things like this are only needed if you're doing advanced integrations and things like that, but it just helps you keep inventory levels in sync and, you know, product codes and things like that. But you'll notice there's some other things in here. You know, we have like a minimum enrollment requirement. We have a lot of customers that sell courses that take place in a physical environment and may require costs. So, you know, you as an institution, you know, maybe you have to rent out space if you're going to do a particular course in a particular city. So you may not want to, you know, have that course if you don't get enough enrollments to make it profitable. So a lot of our customers will set a minimum, which means our system will authorize the credit cards, we'll capture the credit cards, and we'll put them in a holding pattern until the minimum's been met. Once the minimum's been met, then we fully process the cards and charge those cards and then fulfill all those enrollments from there. This just enables our customers to, you know, in the case where they have to cancel a course because they didn't get enough interest, they don't have to go issue a bunch of refunds. Those cards were never processed, and if they just cancel the course, those will just expire and nothing will ever come of them. So it's just a nice way to kind of manage money flow and not put the burden on you to issue refunds and things like that. As I mentioned, we also have this live class function. When you go to create a live class, you can choose from your library and you can link a live class session to any of those courses that are coming out of your Moodle account. So again, you can use Moodle to create kind of a parent template, you know, which defines the curriculum, which, you know, defines your title and summary and all that kind of stuff. But then using our live class capability, you can define your locations, your instructors, customize your confirmation and reminder emails, which also include iCal attachments. You know, so you can send out all the information that people are going to need to attend these live sessions. But we also simultaneously automate enrollments back into that parent course in Moodle. So maybe your certification process is somebody needs to attend a 4-hour class and then get an 80% or above on the exam. You can put the exam in your Moodle course, use our live class capability to set up the registrations for the live sessions that they're going to attend, but then that also puts access to the actual course in their My Learning area, and they can, you know, go attend the live class and then through the My Learning area access the on-demand portion or the Moodle portion and go take their exam, download documents, leave feedback or whatever. But there could still be some stuff that might happen in Moodle, but you're not trying to manage a registration process using an activity that's in a course that somebody's not enrolled in yet. So it allows you to kind of simplify that workflow. Also, we have lots of customers where the live class is the course. You know, we work with a lot of continuing education organizations that, you know, they don't really have exams or documents or certificates of completion. As long as somebody attends the 2-hour either online or in-person course, that's it. They get credit. They don't have to do anything else. So that's another reason why we implemented this. Is sometimes an LMS is just overkill for what you might need to teach or what you're trying to promote. Just a quick run through of some other settings you have control over within our system. You know, we've talked a lot about the theme designer. You know, again, you don't have to be a programming expert or an HTML whiz to do this. In our theme designer area, you can come in and pretty much customize, you know, all your background colors, all your font styles and colors, buttons and navigation links can all be customized with our color pickers. You can even customize the text of some of your buttons right from here. You can easily drop in your Google Analytics for tracking traffic across the site. You can turn on and off some of your different pages. You can control the sorting order of how courses are listed on particular pages. So there's just all kinds of settings. Everything's designed to be pretty turnkey so that you can literally turn a store on and be selling courses within hours instead of having to go through a full multi-month, you know, custom development process in order to to set up a storefront. Same thing applies to all the messaging. I mean, you'd be shocked, but a storefront like ours generates about 32 unique messages that get sent out. Everything from how do I reset my password to, thank you for signing up. Here's an enrollment notification. Your payment's on hold. We have tools built in where you can purchase for others. So there's emails that go out to notify the people who are having courses being bought for them on their behalf. So all this stuff can be customized. You can, we have a WYSIWYG editor in here that allows you to create nice, pretty HTML-based emails. In fact, I've got a customer that did a really nice job with all their email templates. I jump into, this is a big crane manufacturer that we work with. They provide global training to all the construction companies that are buying their equipment. They provide safety and training on how to use their stuff. So let me jump in here, and they do a nice job with their marketing. Yeah, you'll see here they've dropped in their own little HTML templates that have a little banner and some other information, and then they're able to incorporate our email wildcards so you can drop runtime data into these emails at the time that they're sent. So you have full customization over all your emails, and then you can also white label the domain that you're sending from. So if you want to send from like training at your entity, you can have the emails get routed through your email server, and they can be white labeled. You can create any number of child stores. So as I mentioned, my parent account here is the Great Outdoors Colorado. So when I jump out to my storefront, I teach things like fly fishing in Colorado and kayaking and all that kind of stuff. Well, I've created a number of child stores like Great Outdoors California, Great Outdoors New York. So if I go to any of those stores, they're linked to my parent account, but they are their own kind of freestanding storefronts that can be used for a different target audience. So in this case, I'm promoting outdoor adventure training for the state of New York. So I've got more things that are specific to like the Catskills or, ice climbing in New York, stuff that's relevant to their state versus the state of Colorado. So those are all things that you can set up in our system. We've got a group feature that allows you to create visibility and discounting type of rules within the system. So if you want to manage like premium members, like maybe you sell all your courses for $100, but if you're a member of your organization, you get a 50% discount. You could set up dynamic groups where you can build rule sets that will automatically add people to these groups, and you can use those groups to hide content. You can use those groups to set pricing strategies and things like that. And then over on the commerce side, we provide all the tools for you to upload your privacy policies and your refund policies. You can turn on and off different settings for how people check out. So if you want to enable, for example, an invoice me option so that people can pay you with a check, you have the option to turn that on. If you have to collect tax, which if you're in the States, you probably don't, but we work with international customers where they do have to charge tax. And a lot of them will want to display like a custom word, like our customers in Europe, they don't charge tax, they charge VAT. So I can come in and customize that tax setting, and that changes that word everywhere. And I can then create VAT items that then I can assess to my purchases when they happen. We have a whole coupon code and discounting system. So if you want to create virtual gift cards, if you want to create coupon codes that you can be, issue to people, or if you want to create system discount rules, maybe you don't want to create a particular coupon, but maybe you want to give somebody a discount if they spend $500 or more. So I might call this, 500 or more is the discount rule. And I could say if my order total is greater or equal to 500, I'm going to give a 25% discounts, and I can create that rule now. And so now anytime somebody throws enough stuff in their cart that it equals $500, they'll see it, marked out, and they'll see a discount on their summary page. So you've got all kinds of control here for which courses you want to activate, settings about how those courses will be active, how people will purchase those courses and options they have for checking out. And then once somebody has made a purchase, let me jump back over here to my Great Outdoors Colorado store. Oops. There we go. Once you've made a purchase, you get access to this My Learning area. And this provides you with a dashboard view of all the purchases that you've made. You've got your transaction history here where you can go and download in a PDF file all the transactions you've made. So if you need to submit those for the reimbursement at your work or things like that, you can gain access to your purchase history. If you do a purchase for others, so if I go in and buy 10 seats to a course for other people, I've got access to a manage users area where I can come in and I can add the users who I want to send to the course. So no more sending in a spreadsheet to you where you have to manually upload it into the system and activate everybody into the system. Your buyers can make a purchase and manage their own users. And then once everybody's logged in and they want to access a course, they can come to the My Courses area. And again, they can see like some of these, say processing, these are courses that I purchased and I'm waiting for approval because I bought them through like an invoice me type of transaction. I've got some that say renew. So I bought this one on like a subscription kind of basis. So it's expired. So if I want to get access again, I can renew it. And then some of these say launch. So if I click launch, the cool thing is you don't have to create your users in Moodle. You don't have to go manually add them to the course. Our system does all that for you. And it's a single sign-on handoff from the My Learning page and LMS Checkout over into the actual course that they need to take over in Moodle. So it's all fully automated. All you have to do is set those courses up. Once somebody makes a purchase using any of the modalities that we offer, they can get automatically transferred right into Moodle, and all that happens instantaneously. And that is pretty much the overview. Like I said, I could probably talk for 2 or 3 hours and go into a lot of detail about a lot of different kinds of settings. This was meant to be pretty high level, just show you a lot of the options that are available, show you some examples of stores that exist out there. But it was just meant to give you enough information to help you make a decision on whether or not it was worth having a deeper dive kind of conversation around. So with that, I'm gonna pause. Tammy, I don't know if we have questions that are already in the queue or if we want to.
We haven't had any questions yet. It's been a little quiet, so that's fine. But I will be calling the people that signed up just to get your reactions and to see if you want to do a deeper dive of how this can work for your organization. It can be a little overwhelming when there's so many options. And I do think every client, and I think Matt did a really good job of showing that, uses it a little differently. And we can talk about how that might look for you if that would help your organization and your goals. The final thing and Matt, thanks so much. I'm just gonna unshare and yeah, I do want to continue, and I'm going to share my screen, and I just want to show our website of what future webinars we have coming up. So today we talked about LMS Checkout, which is a huge tool set if you're trying to sell courses online. Next week on February 1st, we're going to talk about Zula, which has advanced reporting for Moodle and Totara. But then Matt's going to come back on February 22nd, and we're going to talk about the Salesforce integration that he talked about early in the presentation today. We're going to take a deeper dive into that. So we do have a number of clients that use Salesforce and would like to integrate it with either Moodle or Totara, and we're going to show the advantages of doing that. So we hope that you will come back if any of those tool sets would work with helping you better realize your goals. And with that, I will check one more time if we have any questions. And if not, like I said, we've been recording this and I will send out the link. And I just want to thank Matt so much for his very thorough showing of different clients. I really think that's my favorite part, being able to see how different people are using the product. Great. Question and answer. Okay. And no questions right now. So with that, I hope everybody has a great rest of the day, and I will be in touch next week. Great. Thanks, Matt.
Yep. And thank you, everybody, for coming, and thank you, Tammy, for inviting us in.
Sure. All right. Have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.